Hi, this is Josh from the Padcaster. I am going to show you all the new features and how to set up your new Padcaster Studio. It comes with a lot of new items and we're really proud of it. So this informal video should show you how to set up everything that comes in the package and a little bit about how to use it. There are also tons of videos that we've made that are coming that'll show you more about each individual item. But for now, we're going to do a whole feature tour of what you get in the new Padcaster Studio. So let's start with the tripod. We'll build it from the ground up. This is a new tripod that we have. It is a really rugged folding tripod that folds down smaller than our old one and actually gets taller than it did as well. So you can fold these legs down completely. It folds small because they completely invert when you fold it up. And these legs have 3 different stages: small, medium, and long. For the purposes of what we're doing, I'm just going to take 2 of the stages and open them up. They have quick release latches and they lock down tight. And then when you spread the legs, you can just take this center column and bring it down, and you can adjust the height either with the legs or with this center column here that goes up and down. A nice feature of this tripod also is that one of these legs unscrews and you can convert this into a monopod. That'll also be shown in greater detail in a video that's dedicated just to the tripod. But for now, let's go over some of the features of this new Padcaster fluid head tripod. Pan handle comes in the bag as well, and it attaches to the side, and you just screw it here into the side until it's tight. And it comes with a couple different ways to level. You'll see there's a ball level on the legs so that you could actually level the tripod by adjusting the leg height, but it also has a ball level on the head itself. So if you're on an uneven surface and it's hard to adjust the legs, you can actually loosen this knob here. And if the bubble is in the center of the ball level indicator, which is here, you can see it there, then you know your level regardless of the surface that you're on. You can loosen the pan action here and the tilt action on the side. This is tilt and this is pan. And you can take this quick release plate off just by loosening this knob here, pressing this orange button here, and quick release plate comes off. It has 2 mounting points to the Padcaster. This is a locking pin and a 1/4-20 screw, and you can actually take this 1/4-20 screw out and you can replace it with a 3/8/16 screw if you're using a different camera with a larger thread. But what we'll do now is we're going to attach the Padcaster itself to the quick release plate and start getting ourselves built. You notice the Padcaster comes in this backpack. Pretty much the entire studio fits in this bag. It's a rugged bag. It opens from the back, so when it's on your back it can't be opened in case somebody might want to take your goodies from you. It has a rain cover in the side pocket that you can put on the top of the backpack to keep it dry, and also has a tripod pocket. So if you wanted to take this tripod and not carry it in this bag and you wanted to carry everything in one bag, you could strap it to the back of this backpack. So let's take a look inside and see what comes in the new Padcaster Studio. Unzip, you'll see immediately there's a quick start guide. I would say this video is probably a little bit better than that, but it should give you the basics of how to put everything together, at least for the case itself. So this is the Padcaster case. This is a case for a 9.7-inch iPad Pro or 5th or 6th generation iPad. It has a lens bracket that reduces down to a 58mm thread because our lenses, our wide and telephoto lenses that are also included, both have rear threads of 58mm. The back of the insert, you can see, is specifically fit for a 9.7-inch iPad. So what I'll do is I'll take the 9.7-inch iPad, and I usually start with one end, and then I work my way around the perimeter. It pops right in, and then this is not going anywhere. So you don't have to be too gentle with the iPad. You're not going to break the glass. Just make sure that it's in there and it's fitting tight. And you can see the lens lines right up with the hole. So let's get this onto the tripod. We'll loosen that base plate again, slide it off, And then you can line up the locking pin with the locking pin hole in the bottom of the Padcaster frame, and then line up the 3/4 20 hole on the Padcaster. You can position it by hand, but you're going to need a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, or at the very, very least, a quarter, because you really want to put some torque on this screw. The tighter you screw it in, the more stable it's going to be on the tripod. I really recommend a screwdriver. This quarter it'll do the job, but I really think you should make sure it's tight. This is probably a 6-pound payload once you have the iPad and the Padcaster and all the equipment built. So you slide, you can see I slid the Padcaster right onto the tripod. You hear that click, and then when you tighten this knob, the Padcaster's on there. It's very, very secure, and you can see it has pan control, tilt control. I'm going to lock them temporarily so we can put our gear on there. Show you some of the other accessories that come with the Padcaster. So you'll see in the backpack, your configuration might be slightly different, but it should have exactly the same thing. Let's start with the wide angle lens and the telephoto lens. This is a 0.45 wide angle lens. It also is a macro lens. If you unscrew half of this lens, there is a macro filter for extreme close-up work. And then there is the telephoto lens, and it's a 2x telephoto lens. So that's really going to double the size of the image that you're seeing. It'll get you twice as close. So both of them have a 58mm thread that'll screw right onto there. More on that later. Your Padcaster also comes with the unidirectional microphone. It comes with a windscreen and a bag, and also a few extra rubber bands that can replace, should any of these break, the shock mount bands that are on the microphone. The unidirectional microphone also comes with a cold shoe adapter, and that allows you to mount it directly to the top of the Padcaster frame. Just like that. And this takes a 9-volt battery, and it has a few different positions we can look at really quickly. There is an off, on, and a low cut switch, and then it has a decibel gain. You can take 10 decibels of gain off or add 10 decibels of gain on if you want a little bit more of a boost from your microphone. Padcaster also comes with a lavalier microphone. This has about a 25-foot cable on it, so you can actually clip the microphone on, and you can run the pack to your belt, and then you have about 22 feet of cable. So it's a pretty good run if I wanted to get a shot from a distance. Padcaster also comes with, as a new feature as well, is a set of stereo headphones so that you can monitor your sound while you're recording. The cable is braided so that it's extra durable. We found that the most common cause of headphone breakage in schools is actually students biting through them. So we decided to try to combat that with a braided cable. Padcaster also comes with an LED light. So this LED takes 4 AA batteries. It has a dimmer on it, so you can make it brighter or darker as you have a need for it. And it also has a sliding diffusion screen. So if you wanted a harder light, you would take the screen out, and if you wanted a bit of a softer quality light, you would slide that in there. This also comes with a cold shoe adapter that allows you again to very easily mount it into the Padcaster frame. And the neck of the LED articulates, so you can go side to side, and then you can unscrew the neck here and control the tilt of the light as well. You'll also find in the bag a headphone splitter. This is a very important cable because one end is a microphone input and one end is a headphone output. That allows you to record and listen at the same time. If you plug this cable right into the iPad's headphone jack and then take your microphone, make sure you plug it into the microphone end of the splitter, and then you can take your headphones and plug your headphones into the headphone jack. And that way you can listen to what you're recording while you're recording it. Padcaster also comes with a small lens sticker. This actually goes around the lens area of your iPad because the reflective surface of the iPad can actually reflect light back into the back of our lenses. So if you're in a situation where you can't control your lights, you may find that there's a little bit of a glare, and this actually, what that does is it reduces the glare by making the surface of the iPad around the lens black. We also include the Padcaster stick mic and a slightly new product called the Superclamp. this clamp will actually attach the stick mic to the Padcaster frame. I'll show you how that's done as well. So it's basically a ball head with a 1/4-20 stud and a clamp married together. So I'll get it over here. You can really take this and screw the ball head into the side of the Padcaster frame until it's tight. And then when you tighten the ball head, you really can position this thing and make it very tight. Make sure that the clamp is screwed down as well. And then you can loosen this ball head, and if you want to position the clamp like this, so the handle's in the back, what I usually do is I use the clamp to just holster the microphone on the side. And then I can take this cable here, which is an XLR cable to a mini cable. And so what you would do is you would take this cable, is about 12 feet long, and you would plug this into the stick mic, and it locks. You can reholster this. And then a little trick I have is that I'll take this Velcro strap, I'll run it all the way to the other end, and that way if I'm going to hang this cable off of this splitter, instead of taking the heaviest cable, and this is a pretty heavy duty cable, what I don't want to do is I don't want to have this heavy cable hanging here and putting weight on this splitter. So what I can do is before I plug it in, I can actually take this Velcro strap, I can put it through this clearance hole here. And that way, if I take a bit of a loop and I plug this cable in here, the weight of the cable is being held by the Velcro strap, not by the splitter itself. And that way, it'll ensure that you're not going to cause any damage to that splitter cable. So I'm going to unplug that now, put the unidirectional microphone back in here, and I'm also going to show you the Parrot Teleprompter. It's a tiny teleprompter that uses the same glass as any teleprompter of any size. It's professional beam splitter glass, and it works with a smartphone or anything that you can download our free app to. And it's very easy to use. Comes with a 58mm mounting ring. It threads right onto the Padcaster bracket, and then it just slides down right onto that mounting ring. And the teleprompter uses any smartphone that you can download an app to and allows you to run text on, we have an app called the Parrot Teleprompter, and you can see it running text here. You can edit this text, you can change the size of the text, you can sync it with your Dropbox account, and then you can take this and it just clips right into the teleprompter, and you can see that it's playing the text right there. The Parrot Teleprompter also comes with a cleaning kit and a Bluetooth remote control so that you can control the Parrot Teleprompter from your pocket if you want to control the speed or the text size and start and stop the text from a location. If I'm standing in front and doing this on my own, I can start and stop the prompter just like I would be from here. The next new feature in the new Padcaster Studio is the Supershade. Now, this is something we've been trying to develop for a long time, and we're really happy with it. So it is a hard cover, but it's also a sunshade, and it attaches right to the Padcaster frame. So I'm going to install this now. It installs in 6 points, 2 on the top, 2 on this side, and 2 on that side, with these really small reducing bushings. So essentially what they do is they convert these larger holes in the frame right here into smaller holes that you can actually still use as mounting points on the Padcaster frame, but they'll also hold the Supershade on. So I'm going to install the Supershade right now, and then you can see how this works. So I've attached the Supershade to the Padcaster frame, and through the magic of editing, I moved the microphone from the center thread on the frame to the thread on top of the Supershade. And then there's a notch underneath here. You can just lift this up, take the instruction manual out, flip the sides out. They lock in place, and you have a shade so that if you're shooting in bright lights or outside, you don't have to worry about glare on the screen. It's also a privacy barrier, And you can actually turn this upside down if you didn't have equipment on the frame, and you could use it as a stand just if you wanted to review your footage. But when it's not being used as a sunshade, you can collapse it. And it is a hard case for your iPad, which means if you don't want to take your iPad out of the Padcaster going from shoot to shoot, you can just leave it in there and you know it's protected. So those are the basic features and components of the new Padcaster Studio. I'm also going to go through a couple different items in here. I'm going to clean up a little bit. Close up the backpack. The Studio also has a new set of Dolly Wheels. These are smaller and more robust than our older ones. They have a carry handle built into them, a Velcro closure to keep the legs closed, but they also just snap open. And they have telescoping legs, so when you want to open and close them, you can just, the same quick release action as the tripod, will open these legs. And to get the tripod in, you just open these to an adequate size to fit the tripod legs in. And I'll show you how to install them in just a second. So installing the legs is actually quite easy. You just put the dolly underneath your tripod and then lift the tripod and set these legs, the feet of the tripod, right into here. And then one by one, you can tighten these. And this way you can roll your Padcaster from location to location without disassembling it. So if you're at a school, for example, and you're going to be using the Padcaster in a number of different rooms in the school, you can just roll it from classroom to classroom and then leave it built as you want. The feet also lock. You can press down and then it's locked in place. And if you want to release it quickly to keep moving, step down there and then it's ready to go. So the last thing I'm going to show you is the Padcaster Greenscreen. It is a double-sided green screen used for chroma keying if you want to key out your backgrounds. It is more fun to open than it is to close, but it does fit back in this bag. So I'm going to attempt to not break my nose while I open it up. Okay, mostly good. So this is a 5 by 7 foot green screen, and the new Studio also comes with a green screen stand. I'm going to attempt to open this up with one hand. The green screen stand also comes with a small clip that actually holds the green screen at the top of the stand, and that attaches to the top of the stand. So let's get the green screen stand out. And this is essentially just a universal light stand. So what happens is you open the legs here, and you can lock them with this knob right there. And then you can open this in 2 stages. One, and you can take this cap off the top that exposes this thread. So you could actually mount a light on here if you wanted to as well. That goes about the height of the green screen. And then you install this clip to the top and then tighten this down. And then what you could do is take your green screen, rotate it any way you'd like, and then you would clip the green screen to this reflector clip right here. There is another standalone video that shows you how to fold the green screen back into this bag. You'll have to take my word for it that it does, because this video has gone on long enough and I want you to get it out there and get shooting. So this is everything that comes with the new Padcaster Studio. You can see it's a comprehensive turnkey solution for video, live streaming, broadcasting, and acquisition for students, for corporations, for filmmakers. I hope you enjoyed this. You can email support@padcaster.com with any additional questions, and thanks for watching.